welcome to the Act Real Studio Lounge. Today, it's one of those days that everyone needs the information that we're about to talk about with my friend, Jenna DiCarlo. Now, Jenna has been in the television and film industry for over 20 years. I mean, the girl has done everything from the ground up, okay? In front of the camera, acting, behind the camera, booking talent, judging talent, sitting with producers. She is a person that when you are ready for network, she's one of the people that you have to get through to get the gig. And we are so thrilled to have her be part of the Act Real Studio community. What's up, Jenna?
Hi, all. My name's Jenna DiCarlo. Pleasure to meet everyone. I'm here with Roz. She's a very dear friend of mine. I love her dearly. She asked me to do this, and I was like, sure, why not? You know, who doesn't need extra tips on learning how to do acting and being in the business? And again, like she said, I have been in this industry for over 20 years, and it's not an industry you can just hop on a plane to LA and I'm going to be, I'm going to find that agent, or I'm going to find that that management deal, or I'm going to show up to set because on the off chance that you did book an audition. Those things don't happen overnight. There's so much more to it than that, and it requires a lot of know-how and go-to. And you have to understand, when you come into this industry, into this business, you have to be the person that shows up early, the person that shows up late, that wants to know how to master your medium. And that's basically what I'm offering with this Act Real Studio workshop classes, is mastering your medium, whatever that tangible medium is, whether it's scripts, breaking them down, whether it's mastering cold reads, whether it's doing auditions, whether it's learning how to really be you as a person and breaking down your individual strengths and how that you can attribute that into coming across and reading it across the camera, knowing your audition points and knowing how not to, the do's and don'ts of those individual things that make you stand out to a casting director, that make people remember who you are and how you came in and read. Not every time you go into an audition, you're going to land it. That's not going to happen. And you have to be okay and understand and accept that that is a reality. As an actress, I started out in stage and theater. I've done from musicals to stage plays to, whatever, and be in front of the camera as well. When I switched into film and television, I didn't get every audition that I booked. The auditions I did get were, satisfying and pleasing, but there's a way about doing those things. Learning how to break down your script, knowing how to bring your character across into the camera so people see what you're reading, understanding the business side of acting and being, business savvy with regards to all the other individual parts of what it means to be an actor, so that you can be the best Hollywood star, the best aspiring up and comer, or the best whoever it is that you want to go out there and be within this industry. Breaking down your talent, breaking down your technique, learning the basics, knowing how to master those.
People, real quick, because I hear this a lot, and I want people to understand the difference. So when you are doing a character breakdown, it's really more about, what is that really about? When people say, okay, well, I'm going to break down a script, what does that mean? And how do you do that?
Exactly. So breaking down a script is really understanding, and there's going to be a couple of different points that they bring up to you. Usually they'll send you what we call sides. It's just a portion of a script that's very small. And when they mean breaking it down, that's exactly what they mean. Going into your character and finding the key points that describe that character or who that person is in the script, and attributing that to your own personality, your own skill set, your own viability that brings you out as a person. And then finding who that character is along the way. Breaking down a script means that you need to remember that this person has has a smirk that they're wearing on their face. If it says this person is smirking, so you need to remember to smirk. Or come in with, this person is a homeless guy, and he, walk into the room with toilet paper hanging out your backside, whatever. Make it memorable so
but
people
do you really
remember.
want them to come in smelling like a homeless guy?
Not
Because
always,
people
not always.
talk about it, right? When you're going
Yeah,
out on
people do talk
auditions,
about it. Do
and
talk
that's the
about
thing.
it.
It's like, should I be wearing, if I'm going out for an attorney?
You
Do
don't
I
want to
wear this?
smell.
If
You
I'm
don't
going
want to
for a doctor,
smell
do
like
I
a
wear the
homeless
smock
person.
and the stethoscope? Like,
Yeah.
is it really that literal?
In certain circumstances, it can be. I remember one audition where the casting director, that was the only person they remembered, because the person came in. He didn't smell like a homeless person, but the role was for a homeless person. He came in with one shoe on his foot, the other shoe on. He was wearing sandals. He came in with like paper sticking out his backside. He came in with his shirt a little bit scruffy, and he had dirt on his face as a role for the person. He ended up getting it. So, I mean, it's judging how far into that role you want to go. You need to think your first instinct is always going to be your best instinct. Whatever your instinct is, when you first think of what that person is to you as a role, as a character, that's your choice. If you second guess yourself, if you go back and say, no, I'm not going to do that, it could cost you. It could cost you the difference between landing that role and not landing that role. You always want to make sure that you look a person in the eye when you're reading to your camera. You always want to wait for someone to introduce yourself so that you can introduce yourself back. If they offer their hand to shake to you, go ahead and shake their hand, but don't offer your hand out to that person. And generally, make sure that you close your door. Don't be chewing gum. Don't be, going in with sunglasses. I know I have sunglasses on today, but I was at a baseball field. So don't, my son was
You're like,
playing, so it's okay.
because I'm really Hollywood right now.
Totally, 100. But yeah, it's very important how you present yourself in your role. If you're coming in professionally, wear a business suit. If you're wearing you're going out for a professional interview, you want to make sure that you can look the best that you can look for the specific type of role that you're looking. If it's a more of a grungy kind of role, or a role that is maybe not as principal, or has a side to it that is a little bit more questionable, play to it a little bit. Make people think, are you going to do it or aren't you going to do it? You want them to question you as an actor in how you deliver your lines, because they need to be able to see that emotionality come across your face. It's so important to see that, because if they don't see it, they can't actually determine whether or not you can deliver what they're expecting.
I think you just said something that was really, really vital that people don't understand. And we talk about this at Acro Studio with the People Who Pop series, right? You walk in, take the homeless guy, for example, right? It said, homeless guy. You said, what's the first thing that comes into your head? Now, if you saw that guy walk in with the toilet paper and the dirt on his face, and everybody else had on overalls, kind of looking like you, that dude made a choice that made him stand out. And it really is identifying, when you're in a room full of people who look exactly like you. That dude might have just gone outside, ran, roughed up his shirt, took off his shoe, and put a little dirt on his face because he walked back in and said, everybody in here looks just like me.
Exactly. That is the number one thing that you want to do when you're going into an audition or any kind of interview. You want to make sure that you are the person that stands out above everybody else, because I guarantee you there's going to be 1,000 other people that are going for that exact same role as you, and you have to be the person that stands out against all of those other people. Thousands of people do a role every day, and the one person is going to get narrowed down to like 5 people tops that they're going to narrow it down to. Out of 1,000 people, you have to be those 5 that stand out.
And you have to, and the thing that we want to talk about and help them build upon or the things that make them stand out uniquely
Right.
to them.
Building up their own brand, building up their influence, being able to attribute that to who they are as an actor and bring it
Being able
across
to
in their
answer a
own lives.
question or be able to bring up, oh yeah, well, when I was, at that gymnastics competition last week, I did blah blah blah. And they're like, oh, you do gymnastics, like knowing where you can bring yourself into the situation to make you stand out. Because if you're in a room and everybody's doing the exact same thing, the only thing you have is your own unique take, your spirit, your delivery, your intention. If my intention is spot on and I know why I'm doing it, no matter what that other person does, if it's a 360 different from me, that's great, because my intention was that kid walked in because of X, Y, and Z in my story. Right? So whatever you bring into your context, when you break those characters down, even if it's just one line, like when you go for commercial auditions, you literally, sometimes it's just a look.
That's right. That's right. It doesn't even have to be lines that are deliverable. You just look the part. They can coach you on your lines if for whatever reason you haven't had enough time to really figure out who that character is to yourself, and you just look like somebody. They'll call you in on just a look. But if, say, for instance, you're in an interview for an audition and you are that gymnast, or you are that, acrobat or stunt fighter or whatever, martial artist, they might actually ask you to do something on the spot to prove that you are who you say you are. That's also a number one thing in this industry, because in this industry, we are telling stories all day long, every day. If the one thing you say you can't do on the spot, that is also memorable. So make sure that when you do things and you say you are this person, that you can deliver those things, and those will be able to help you be remembered as an actor, as an auditioneer, as whoever you aspire to be into the future.
And that's so cool, because you don't, and you don't, whoever, that's why we say at Actwell Studio, imagine who you will become, because you don't know. There's so many different paths, right? Because you Jenna,
You're
just like me,
right.
You were an actor, you did theater, then you went above the line and you went into the production side. You've done
production before you
makeup,
costume, wardrobing, makeup artistry. I'm a licensed esthetician with the state. So I do a lot of it. I had a very dear friend who I've actually fell out of touch with, but one of the best pieces of advice he gave me, and he said, it's not just to do with acting or the film entertainment business, but it's with all aspects of your life. Everything you do is always 99% technical. 99% technical means that you need to know everything about what it is you're attempting to do and utilize as a career, and 1% acting, 1% mechanics, 1% studio, 1% producer, 1% martial artist, 1%. Anybody can get up and say, oh, I can throw a punch. Anybody can get up and say, oh, I can read that line. And it's true, they can. But if you don't know every other aspect of that industry in and out, and know your mediums, and know what you can and cannot do, and how to do them to the best of your ability, then you've already set yourself up to be behind everybody else that's 3 steps ahead of you.
And I love that we're really interested in coaching and coming alongside with everybody.
Correct.
Like not just a one and gone, but really the business of entertainment. It's a business, and recognizing your brand and how to build that brand of influence, the ways of LA and how to navigate Hollywood so you don't get taken advantage of, and how to amplify your brand, and how not to kill all your social currency because you made some foolish posting that you didn't realize was going to be detrimental because that platform wasn't for that kind of post. We teach you all these different things at the school.
Exactly. The Facebook postings, the TikTok videos, really like YouTube, all that stuff.
Of collaborative entertainment professionals coming together and giving very specific, real, tangible knowledge to help you win in your desired path.
Absolutely, absolutely. Anybody can dominate their industry in which they choose to aspire in. It just, you have to have the will to do it. You have to want to be the person who is, you know, the smartest person in the room. And when I say the smartest person in the room, it's just knowing your environment, knowing your industry, knowing your business, knowing how to be successful for yourself. It doesn't mean that you have to be, you know, way up here at the top with, you know, Angelina Jolie or The Rock or, you know, Chris Evans or whoever. It just means that you have to be successful at your level. And each time you take a step, you're successful. You're successful. You're successful until you finally make it up to wherever your aspirations are. And that's what Act Real Studios is all about. It's teaching people how to get to the next level. And I would love for everybody to come in and participate and join in this in these wonderful workshops. And we have you know, a massive amount of information that we can share for everybody who's willing and want it.
I love it. You're awesome. Thanks
I love
for
you.
coming in today. We get you in the lounge
You.
next week.
Oh, for sure, for sure. I'll see you guys. Come and join us. I can't wait to see everybody. Bye.
Bye. Love you.
Bye. Love you.